Well, KwaZulu-Natal is picking up the pieces of yet more devastating flooding, which has now claimed the lives of 40 people so far. 5 more are still missing. The floods have left many municipalities in disarray, to say the least, with major infrastructure damage in Ladysmith, Dannhauser and Msunduzi. Let's unpack the story further. We're joined this morning by KZN's Selga Chair, Thami Ntuli. Thami, it's great to talk to you. Thanks very much for coming on to the program. And of course, it's not just the flooding recently in KZN. It goes as far back as 2022. It's a province that is really struggling to pick up the pieces.
Good morning, Michelle, and to your viewers. Thank you for having us as KwaZulu-Natal. Indeed, the province of KwaZulu-Natal seems to be prone now to the natural disaster, and in particular, the floods, which impacts very negatively on the municipality structure, infrastructure, and even losing a lot of lives. The unfortunate thing is that what we're seeing is caused by either people who have built their homes in the flooded areas, or some because of the repairs and maintenance of the stormwater pipes, the drainage system, which we have been, in fact, as Salka talking about, that is an issue that needs an urgent attention. Unfortunately, the financial, capacity to municipalities is still an issue to fix all or to repair and maintain all the stormwater pipes, so as to ensure that whenever the floods comes, it will not impact so negatively. But for the rural places, I think the problem is where people build their houses, of which we believe that needs to be given a priority by all municipalities to ensure that they engage even the traditional leaders, so that whenever they allocate land for building houses to the people, the places which are quite dangerous, in fact, they are avoided.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of the issues that you're raising, it just, it shows that we haven't moved towards a proactive approach. We're so far from a proactive approach insofar as disasters of this nature are concerned. We are very much still reactive in the moment.
Yes, we are quite correct. However, the discussion has been there for quite some time now, which I think what has happened really needs to make every responsible leader, in fact, to consider this as an urgent matter to be attended to, because the issue of Spluma was also trying to address typical things, and we're on record, in fact, alerting the municipalities and the leaders of the society that such issues needs to be attended to. But we even engaged local government in KwaZulu-Natal last year, wherein we were talking about the issue of repairing and maintaining the stormwater pipes, the drainage systems. However, we were caught by a dialogue on the issue of the financial capacity, that even now municipalities are not able to access easily the grant which is supposed to assist them to maintain the infrastructure. Hence, we made a call that why do they have to apply for the grant instead of the grant being allocated or ring-fenced in the allocation that is given to the municipalities, that the special grant should be given so that the municipalities will be able, in fact, to address the issues of ensuring that the drainage systems within the towns and cities are actually at a good condition, so that we'll not see this kind of losing life. Because KwaZulu-Natal, on weekly basis now, especially during this season, you'll find that the weather condition is always having some hazardous, in fact, behavior. Hence, really, a sense of urgency is what we are calling for, in not only to the National Treasury to support municipalities with the finances, but even to the municipalities themselves to ensure that they really attend to the issue that caused the loss of lives, and they also engage the leaders that allocate people for building houses, so that they will not expose themselves. On top of that, because some of the people who lose their lives, they lose when they cross the rivers, when it is actually flooded. I think that is another important call to make, that really we need to be cautious and even educate our children that even when it rains while they are at school, when they have to cross the river, before they reach their homes, they must make it a point that they wait until the river, in fact, is no longer flooded, so that they will be able to reach their home as safe.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other discussion for us to have. Why are children crossing rivers, right, to get to and from school? But you talk about the extensive loss of life in KwaZulu-Natal as a result of this flooding. There's also, and this is something that SALGO raised the alarm on just a week ago, the loss of lives insofar as councillors in KwaZulu-Natal is concerned. 40 councillors who have lost their lives since 2021, 18 of them as a result of assassinations. I mean, these things are not happening in a vacuum, right? The challenges faced in the province are so wide-ranging and multi-pronged.
Yeah, absolutely. You see, I have described our province here in KwaZulu-Natal as a province which is not safe when it comes not only to the politicians or councillors, but even to the ordinary members of the citizen and the traditional leaders, because they are all victims. And it's unfortunate that targeting the councillors who are expected to service the communities with a plan of 5 years, in fact, it impacts on service delivery and the stability in a government, which is the government closest to the people, and where most of the expectations by the residents are actually with that government. And then when a councillor is assassinated, in fact, it impacts on the stability of that particular ward which is affected, and even the municipality itself. And we have been on record making a call of a collaboration, because we believe that not only the SAPS will arrest this, since you know that there are some arrests that have been made, but the only worry is that we have never seen an orchestrator, someone who in fact planned to send the assassins being arrested, which is our main concern, that it seems as if in fact there's something that needs to be done, well, with an understanding of the recommendations by the Morane Commission, wherein they were calling for the collaboration within the security cluster, so that when a case is brought to the court of law by the SAPS, the court of law and SAPS information will be in agreement for conviction. Unfortunately, which calls for more empowerment of the police, so that when they do investigations, in fact, they will do the investigation that and provide evidence to in fact convince the court of law to be able to convict the assassin. And not all the cases, in fact, they have been in fact investigated successfully, which we believe that the empowerment of the police is quite very important.
Thami Ntuli is SALGO's KZN chair. Thanks very much for joining us this morning.